Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Coffee Break, and we are now in the semifinals of the CoffeeCast Open Tournament. And these two players should seem extremely familiar to you because they have fought tooth and nail up through the winner's bracket, knocked down to the loser's bracket, and are now here to give us another amazing series. They did meet up before. We have aciesPure spawning as the red Protoss on the right side of MLG Antigua Shipyard, and on the left side we have B spawning as the blue Terran. Oh man, let me tell you, these games have been absolutely intense between these two players. They did play earlier in a best of 3 series, and B ended up losing that 0-2, but only barely. In both games, aciesPure had a huge attack hit his base. aciesPure lost a ton in both games, and B just wasn't able to kill off the counterattack from aciesPure. But B, I was talking to him after that game, and I was asking him, how'd you feel about this? Because I know that he doesn't exactly like playing aciesPure. aciesPure, a very, very good Protoss. He's pretty much the arch nemesis of B. And B said, I felt good, and I know I can do better, and I know that if we play again, I will win. And so he is getting that challenge. B was hoping to meet up in the championship, but this is just as good. So if you want a Terran versus Zerg championship, you better be rooting for B in this matchup. However, if you favor a Protoss versus Zerg game, be rooting for aciesPure. This is going to be an absolutely intense matchup, and I am electrified to be casting it. We do have aciesPure more likely than not getting ready to set himself up for a 1-gate expansion like he always does. The way he likes to do it is to get the 1 gate, the cybernetic score, and after his Stalker finishes, he then will go ahead and lay down that Nexus. Generally comes in around 27 to 28 supply. In the meantime, we've seen an array of openings out of our blue Terran player B, who has done all sorts of different things. He's done a 3 racks timing pressure. He has done a fast expand of his own. He's done 3 to 4 command centers. He, I believe, even tried Thor. No, that was T. That was T earlier on that did a Thor build. But nonetheless, B has a wide variety of units, of openings that he can execute versus aciesPure in the opening. And really, he knows all sorts of follow-ups as well. Now, one thing we do need to watch is this ramp for aciesPure for his expansion. This is not 1 force field wide. This is 2 or 3, probably 3 force fields wide. And so, if Pure wants to be able to use a lot of sentries to hold off any sort of aggression B might be coming with, he will have to go ahead and have a lot of sentries. And it looks like B is indeed gearing up for another 3 racks pressure. He does have this first tech dive down, getting concussive shells first, so it looks like we are going to be seeing heavy Marauder pressure in the early game, rather than going straight for that stim pack concussive shell attack like he has in previous games. And B's comment earlier about not needing that is the gas. aciesPure has been enjoying stealing the gas from B, but not once has B needed that second gas. So really, I feel like the joke is on aciesPure. B just needs to make sure not to reveal his Marauders. I don't think the simulator can really see anything over here. No, it can see the barracks, but that is it, and that reveals absolutely nothing. B actually going for a concussive shells expansion. Now, what this allows him to do, now that he has Marauders with concussive shells out, he can kite any number of forces that are trying to come up this ramp pretty much infinitely. It's very, very hard for a Protoss player to pressure his opponent when the Terran player has an early concussive shells. And over here you do see it does look like aciesPure might be going for a 3-gate robo timing push, a very, very old timing push, or he might be rushing to Colossus or maybe Blink Stalkers. There's so many openings he could still be doing. It's too early to tell. However, he did not choose to go for that 1-gate expansion, which he has done so many times. So probably trying to catch B off guard in this first game with a new build in terms of what he's done previously. And it might indeed work. And there's the 3rd gateway. No Twilight Council yet, so I do think we might be seeing a 3-gate robo timing push. And how this works, you get some Stalkers, you get some Zealots, and 1 to 2 Immortals, and you are able to do a lot of damage with those Immortals. It's kind of an Immortal bust kind of strategy, and it works really well versus an expanding Terran, unfortunately for B. So at this point, I mean, it's a pretty even game. Neither player, aciesPure actually going for a 3-gate robo expansion perhaps. It seems like he's almost wasting a little bit of a moment of opportunity, because he knows that he can go for a 1-gate one-gate expansion. He's done that in previous games. But I think B has aciesPure a little bit on the back foot because so many times in the past, B just has done a timing push and really punished fast-expanding Terrans. And in this case, aciesPure is just too scared to do that one-gate robo, and is severely behind in his expansion timing because B just decided to go for a fast expand. So B's expansion is already completed, and in the meantime, the Nexus is only about halfway done. The Observer is now in the base and floating around, though, so he does know that B did do this. Actually, he has not floated down to see the second expansion yet, so he actually could definitely be thinking there's a 3-racks coming for him and not really realize that there's not really much aggression going on. We do have a forward pylon placed for aciesPure, so he will be able to very easily counterattack should B decide to push out anytime soon. B is getting combat shields now. That is the last really required upgrade for any biological army, and it looks like B is indeed pushing out after taking his expansion first to this game. But at the same time, aciesPure is pushing out as well. aciesPure does have that watchtower advantage for the moment, but no, now it looks like he's pushing down. aciesPure is on a move order, not an attack order, and 2 Stalkers, and maybe even a 3rd Stalker will fall immediately. No, the 3rd Stalker does get back, but 2 Stalkers did fall very, very quickly. There are plenty of sentries in this army to force field, and he does a very good job of that, forcing the stem. B just lost a lot of health in that right. Should probably try to get some medevacs out fairly quickly if he wants to not really die to an attack, I suppose is the easiest way to put it. So aciesPure, quite a blunder right there, once again having his units on move order, so they did not start attacking as soon as they saw B's units. B getting a couple free kills, and over in the units lost tab, you can kind of see that. Oh, it looks like we're losing some units somewhere. It looks like a Zealot or two were morphed in from this forward pylon and thrown over into B's expansion. Now that definitely evens it up a little bit. We are now at 925 to 550 resources lost in favor of our Terran player B, and 7 workers killed for aciesPure, so he is a little bit in the head in that right. Definitely ahead in the harvester count right now, but that is not too big of a deal right now, because B had a very nice opening, had this earlier expansion, so technically he does have a slight economic lead in that right. He does have the 2 orbitals, giving him double muling power, which you can see kind of helps put him above just a little bit aciesPure's current income. But I would really, really like to see a factory and a starport down so that we can start healing up some of these units. I would also like to see a second engineering bay out of B, because in the past I've seen him do double upgrades and just, I mean, pretty much raffle stomp the enemy Protest player with superior upgrades. It does look like aciesPure wants to move out once again. There is an observer flying over this army. B would do well to take that out. It looks like B is now running over to take out this forward pylon now. Very smart. Actually missed it right there. May not get it if he's not paying too much attention. There we go. Has not seen that forward pylon, but a couple of Zealots are warped in, and 1 Zealot will fall immediately. It looks like the reinforcements from aciesPure's entire army is coming down to kill us off, so it's kind of a nasty blunder that B did not get that forward pylon, so now aciesPure will be able to reinforce his army very quickly. However, B stemming up a little bit early to try to catch his army off guard. A few force fields do go down, very, very good force fields, but some do keep the Marines and Marauders out of place. However, it does not matter. B realizes when he is defeated, and GG's out of game 1 here in the semifinals. A very well played game by both players. B did get his expansion up a little bit earlier, was able to pick off a few extra units, but in the end was just not quite able to micromanage his army well enough and ended up losing. And once again, I really feel medevacs would be an advantage to him. He seems to like a lot of heavy biological play, but really just wait so long to get those medevacs, and when you stim up your units as much as he does, it can really end up hurting your army.